Not gonna lie, this was kind of unexpected in my opinion. I mean, when it was going this bad, I was like, nah, they ain't gonna re-sign him. I really thought that this was gonna end up in a trade, but this is good news for Bruins fans, man. Jeremy Swayman does re-sign with the Boston Bruins for $66 million. So, when Neely or whatever said, oh, hey, we have $64 million, for him to show up to training camp or whatever. Actually, it ended up being $66 million. You know, we just never know what's going on in these contract negotiations. Sometimes I just wish I was a fly in the wall on these negotiations. Honestly, I actually think that this was a pretty good deal for the Boston Bruins. He is, in my opinion, an elite starter, and they really did have to get him signed. Obviously, I was hoping for my own self that he would not re-sign because that would be freaking hilarious, but he ended up getting signed anyway, so whatever. I mean, he is a very efficient goalie. That's what I would call him. Just very efficient, very in his crease. He doesn't ever get panicked outside of his crease. He is a very good goalie. Actually, he's a goalie that the Maple Leafs almost drafted. So, I mean, kind of kills me to this day that they did not draft him, but whatever. I will say, though, that this was one of the kind of, weirdest situations that I've seen in terms of a negotiation between a player and a team. Like, this one had a lot of drama in it, because I remember, like, Jeremy Swayman saying he went to arbitration and he really didn't want to do that again. Like, he seems like the type of player that absolutely had hard feelings. So that's why I thought this was very dramatic. I remember him saying that he wrote down the reasons or what they said, and he kept it to himself that he's going to prove them wrong. And I was like, oh, damn. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that does not sound a player. Because sometimes you go to arbitration and it really pisses a player off. Some players don't get that mad. But it is interesting. If you look at teams and players that actually went to arbitration, a good portion of them don't end up back with their team because it's just kind of like an insult to them. It's something you don't want to do, right? Going to arbitration anyways. And with that and the negotiation that was clearly not going that well, I don't know, I was sitting here being like, nah, he might get traded. He might get traded. Honestly, I would have loved to see him in Detroit. But alas, here we are, so whatever. So the Bruins pretty much just had about enough cap space to re-sign him. I think they might be a tiny bit over, so they might have to do a little bit roster maneuvering, but they pretty much have right about enough cap space to keep him on the roster. Now, we are going to be able to see Jeremy Swayman be a true number one starter now, right? Because he's never played more than 44 games. You got to remember that, right? Now, 44 games is still a good amount of games, but when you've only played 44 games, that worries me a little bit. It absolutely does worry me just a little bit because you never know what's going to happen, right? He had Allmark behind him, and now he does not have, he has Korpisalo, right? That's a big difference. So now we're really going to be able to see, like, I'm going to be keeping an eye on, like, how many games can Jeremy Swayman play this year? Can he play 60? Maybe. I don't know. Can he play 50? I think he can play 50, but you got, like, if you're getting paid $8 million, you have to be an every single day starter. And we did hear that is what the Boston Bruins were actually worried about, is that they were just worried that he only started 44 games, which I actually agree with them that. But I'm going to be keeping a close eye on him. I want to see what his season is like. I want to see, what kind of numbers he puts up, and not only numbers, but is he healthy for the entire season, and can he truly handle a starter's workload? This does hold some risk for the Boston Bruins because you've never seen him play 60 games. Now, the good part of it is he's a very talented and just very, very good goalie, right? So, it doesn't really matter. If you watch him, he's very efficient in his crease. Very efficient. He doesn't get out of position a lot. He's efficient. He saves his energy a lot because he doesn't move around. So, it is what it is. Anyways, that's my comments on the Jeremy Swayman re-signing. If you guys like, comment, and subscribe, tell me why I'm wrong, tell me why I'm right, and have a great day, guys. Goodbye.